Now, before we begin this review, here's a disclaimer. Everything I say here is my opinion. This is not intended to harm or harass anyone. This review is just for constructive criticism and my personal thoughts. I am not trying to bash or harass anybody, nor am I making the company look bad. This is just a review and my honest thoughts about these new individual sets from 2023. Once again, my opinion. Thank you. I'm sure every single one of you has grown up with Legos. There are these individual bricks that are known to stack and build out of other individual bricks. Ever since the first brick was molded in 1949, it has grown to become a phenomenon. It has arranged throughout many countries around the world, and it is still becoming one of the most greatest companies that has ever been still alive. Now, as we go on to 2023, there is this lineup of sets that, in my opinion, have intrigued me, and it has encouraged me to get every one of them, from the smallest to the biggest. Those being the new LEGO City Arctic / Deep Sea sets of this year. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my honest thoughts and my honest opinions on these individual sets. Now, before I start, I do have to make this disclaimer. This is no way sponsored by the LEGO company. These are just my honest thoughts. This is just my personal idea for this. This is no way sponsored at all. I had to personally buy these on my own. So, without any further delays, let's go ahead and start this review. Let's start with the smallest. The first set we're going to be reviewing for this lineup is set number 60376, the Arctic Explorer Snowmobile. This set contains 70 pieces, and it's going to retail for about $9.99 here in the United States. Now, when I'm looking at this does look like a pretty simple little set for a $9 set, or at least that's what I think it is if I check the website again. But all I say is that this here looks very unique for how it is. Let's start with the build that is named after, the Snowmobile. Now, yes, it does look like a pretty simple build, but it does look very unique for me. I mean, when I take a look at this, it does look actually not that bad. I mean, it could have some flaws there and there, but I think they actually did unique for it. I think they did a good job for how properly built that it is. It does look sturdy and does look pretty bricked for how it is. As you can see, it does have this printed element on here. This printed piece here is printed with the label, which this label is going to be seen with the other Arctic sets that we'll go over. The lights here, yeah, they do add a little bit of some shining, but they do look good on there. They do look good with the lights. Although I will say, I don't really know if these are supposed to be lights, these transparent slope pieces. I'm not sure if those are supposed to be resembled as lights, but they do add a bit of a nice touch on there. Along with the controller, which is just one simple handle bar for a minifig to hold on. As we go into the back, this does have some holding access for this camera here, which will be removed, can easily be removed. And I will say this camera does look like a very simple build, and it's not really that bad. It does have a unique stand here for it to hold on so it doesn't fall over easily. And this part here is where for like a minifigure to look into the camera lens, like to look into it closely, like a sniper, like if you're looking at like the aim, you know, does give it a bit of that vibe. I do like this telephone piece here used for like the handle, but it does look kind of a bit odd. It kind of looks a little bit difficult to hold because of this one little stud right there. But I do like this bucket here that they use for like the camera lens. Would it look better if they put like a transparent like stud piece there? But it looks good regardless. This camera looks pretty good. On the back of the snowmobile, there isn't really anything that is really unique. Doesn't actually include any printing here. And there are some handles there for you to hold like some sort of equipment there. So that is a nice touch. However, I do have one big mark or a criticism I will make. The wheels or the motors. What they use here are Technic pieces. And they are connected to one Technic like piece there to connect. It doesn't really look bad for these. I can understand why they're put there because it's a snowmobile, so it has to like slide through the snow. But I honestly don't really see the purpose of these because they don't really look like anything motorized. They don't look any motory. So pretty much it kind of looks like this thing could like hop around. Or instead of just like drifting or like bumping up through like snow. Do you know what I mean? So I believe that might be my biggest criticism here, is that the wheels don't really look anything like wheels. They look more like Technic pieces, which they are. However, I will say, overall, this build looks not that bad. It does have some this and that there, going with the wheels, but overall, I think that they did pretty okay with what they done with this. It does look pretty bulky, but hey, that's perfectly fine with me. As long as I'm happy, that's all that matters. Now this set does give us another side build here, which is like a snow place. Not really like just like a little area for like a minifig to put on, and also with your animals that you get there. Don't worry, I'll get to those later. But I will say this actually looks a bit basic in my opinion. It does look unique. It does look kind of alright if you're looking for like a snowmobile set that has like something on there instead of just like using just like some ordinary like polybag or something. But it does look like something you would actually make. It does look like something you could actually make out of like everyday bricks. This does look pretty unique if it actually does. So it has like a part of like a snow lake place here, along with like a side of like water here, like some icy water, even though it's not really frozen. But however, this does look pretty good if it is for a snowmobile set. But I will say it is also kind of basic. It looks like something you can actually like build out of something in your own house. It does have some like these pieces here, these transparent like slope pieces once again, and they do look okay. They do look good for this. They act like icicles or like ice, along with this transparent piece right there. It does look like a pretty good thing for like a set for people, for like kids to play with. It does have like this little ramp up here. It does have this like little ramp up there for like minifigs to like climb on or like slide by. Just, there's honestly nothing I could say about this in my opinion. This looks something pretty basic. Really does. Now in this set you do get one minifigure, and that it's this one right here. This minifigure will appear in other Arctic sets that we will look at. So don't get like confused or just say, wait, isn't that minifigure like from that other set? Because I will say this right now, these sets have exactly the same exact figures you'll get from each set. So don't expect like different minifigures from each set, because you'll just get like the exact same one. It does include this snowmobile driver that looks good for 2023. Does have this like printed torso piece there along with the printed legs. And I will say this printing looks really good. Not much around in the back, but there are some around the front. It does include like a zipper and like a pocket for the storage stuff. And it does include this here, which is a backpack for a minifig to put on. It does go on the back though. And it also includes this helmet piece here, which can go onto the minifigure. But you do have to take this piece off in order to put this on. Now there is one thing about the minifigure that I will say about this, is that it does include a alternative face. If you turn it like over here, you can see it does give us an alternative face. So you have like a different face here, and a different face, and a different face from there. So it does look nice that we do get alternative faces. That's pretty much what we get throughout like most sets once in a while, or like most of the time. This helmet is also accessible for a minifigure here when it's like driving by with the Snowmobile. So it does look good. It does look good. We do get this helmet piece throughout many other sets, so it is nice that we do get to see this once in a while with other sets. Also, the backpack can be accessible on the back, so that's pretty much what it looks like on the back. So yeah, I do think that this minifigure looks pretty unique. Once again, you will see this exact same minifigure for a few other sets, so just please get used to her. Just see if you can get used to her. Now we get to what is probably the most positive thing that I can say about this set, the animals that it includes with here. For the first time ever, we actually do get not only an adult seal, but we also do get a baby seal piece, juvenile piece. And I will say, these animals here look fantastic. It's always been intriguing to me that we get each new molded animal pieces that we get for each sets, because in my opinion, it's a fantastic way to boost up the cred. Let's start off here with this one. This is the new adult seal mold that we do get for this year. It's a brand new animal mold that we do get for this year, and I will say I love it so much. It does have one stud on there, so that way it can like fit on with others. It does have a stud there, and it includes like this here with a bunch of like tubes inside, so that way it can like connect to other bricks. The printing here looks great. Do like the printing. And I will say, this is probably the most adorable one I've ever had. Like, seriously, oh my goodness. What's even cuter is that we do get a new other one, a juvenile seal. And I will say, this looks even more adorable. This looks so much like what it has anticipated. Like, it looks really great. Really great. It actually does look very unique. I just love how we do get new molded animals. It just looks so adorable. Like, really, oh my goodness. Like, how? How can we do that? Like, I'm sorry, it's just seeing new animals molding from here, it's just amazing. We also do get this not really new piece from here. This is a fish piece that we got throughout centuries, or not really centuries, throughout many other sets from this decade. This is not really a new piece here, but if it does work with the set, that's okay. Once again, I do love this new molded animal for this year. I do love these animals here. They fit perfect for an Arctic set, because they just look very, very, like, I just can't imagine how they still make sets that include new molded animals. Like, seriously, this is really, really adorable. This is probably the most positive thing I'll say about this set, is that it includes new animals. Not technically with the fish here, but definitely with the juvenile seal and the adult seal. Those are the highlights. Overall with this, I will say this does look like sort of a simple build for it, and it does look pretty reasonable for a cheap set. But it does have its positives. The most positive being the new molded animals that we do get. So I will say, for something to start off with, so far so good. I like it. It does have some sort of flaws from there, including with the wheel part that I talked about for the snowmobile. But in the end, I say that this could be something worth of a buy, something worth of a purchase, especially if you're looking forward to getting new molded animals. Seriously, that is probably the most best part we get for it. So, I'll say the start for this one is great. So with the smallest out of the way, we're going to get to the second one in this lineup. Set number 60377, the Explorer Diving Boat. This set contains 182 pieces and it will retail for $39.99 here in the United States. Yeah. Now first, when I do look at this right now, when I first look at this, I'm going to be honest, this looks pretty colorful. I mean, this part here looks colorful. This coral reef piece here, this part here, we'll talk about that later, but I will say this actually does look very colorful. This looks great for what it is, so it does look very unique for how it could anticipate. Now first, I'm sorry for the stuttering. I'm sorry if I'm going to be stuttering a lot with this, but it's just what I have, okay? So let's just start from each build from 1 to 1. Now let's look at the main part here of what it got its name after. This here, the Explorer Diving Boat. Now first glance, I'm going to say this has a molded boat piece here. This boat hull, which was used back then, used probably back in 2014 with the Coast Guard lineup. So it is nice that we do bring back like this new molded boat hull for what we do get. Now this actually looks kind of not that bad for me. It does have some biddable flaws though, which I will explain later. But let's look at the positive sides first. So first and foremost, the controlling here. It does have a bit of a great access. You do get like to lift this up with like these connecting pieces here, so it does look nice from here. And when we look into inside here, we do get some of the control panels here. We do get just one like steering wheel from there, and we also do get this printed tile piece here, this slope tile piece. And it does have a bit of a like a slope piece here for like a seat. This does fit one minifigure in that part, so I mean it does look okay for like a $40 set, but still though, I mean they could have done better than that. I mean they could have, but I guess they didn't. While we look at the back of here, the back actually looks not that bad. The back here does have storage for like one minifig to put on. And it does have like this medical here thing where it does have like this first aid kit, I think that's what it is, and a syringe. It does have a table for like where you like to have to like to nurse animals back to life. I think that's what it was supposed to be. And it does include like these parts here, these whole like hollow pieces here for like storage use, I think. And it also does have like these pieces here where like think what you're supposed to use with these are to put like minifigs on them, like to slide the legs in there for like usage, for like to get minifigs to like sit or stand on these parts. I mean, I guess they could do that. I mean, I guess that's reasonable. On the back, we do get this right here. We do get 2 motors, which can be held like up and down, whichever way you would prefer it. I just prefer like just stand it up right there. And I will say they do look kind of basic old builds. And the motors here is something I'm not really into. These technically like steering pieces, these black pieces here, I don't know. They just don't really look good on them. They just look very I don't know. It just looks something very basic to build. I mean, they could have used like those other, like those propeller pieces, like those propeller pieces, but I don't know. I don't know why they just didn't use that. That's just what it is. Now on the back here, we also do get this here. This back here is this crane here, which you can operate. This can be lifted up and down, or it can steer from right to left throughout each way you would prefer it to be. Now you will ask, why is it there? Why is like there's like this crane like this there? What is it for there? Just basically what I'm asking. Well, the answer is for the remote sub that we do get in this. This here is what is used for the crane. Now this here is the remote submarine that we do get for this set. Once again, it does have this printed tile on here, like this printed piece here. Like what I said at the Arctic Snowmobile, you will see this piece here throughout each set, so get used to that. And I will say this does look not that bad, but also not that good either. This does look very docile, looks kind of a basical here. The main thing of what I don't like here is this. They use the exact same piece of this exact same Technic piece. And I don't know, there's just something about that I just don't like. It just doesn't look great for what it is. Like, I just don't know. It just doesn't fit with what this is. It just doesn't fit to what it is anticipated to be. You know, it just has that vibe there. It does have some handles on here for like minifigs to hold on, these teal-handed pieces right there. And it also does include these claw pieces here, which can be moved up there and also can be moved like that, like where you can move it over there. So, not really bad, but also with this here, it just doesn't look good, but also doesn't look bad. It's just a mix of both, in my opinion. However, it does include the basic transparent, those stud pieces here, this here, along with this. And also does include this here, this transparent piece, which can be stirred or like around. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but like it's just there for purposes. This main thing about what this is that it's just there to like snap up and take pictures of something, or like take pictures. That's pretty much what I think it is for this, or just something to add like a side bill to. Like I said, this does go with this boat here. Now the reason why is just that you see where this dark blue piece here, you see that? Well, that can go on there just like that. Hold on. Just like this. So that way it can like drift around with this hanging around. And overall, I do like that, but I do like the technique and how they do that. But from my perspective, I don't really see how that can be, considering that doesn't really lift up like entirely on the ground, off like the ground or the water. Because like for instance, if you're gonna like put this on water, because this obviously does float, I don't think this could still like touch the water instead of just like holding it up. So you might have to like hold it up like that, but that would just make it look, I don't know. So I do say this boat does look very, very good for how it is, or pretty much in my opinion, I would just say that this is just okay. I mean, yeah, it does have some elements like that, the steering or the controlling compartment, and also with the lights here. It has this piece here for like, I honestly don't really know. I'm sorry if I'm saying the word like pieces or anything like that. I don't really know. I am so sorry. The positive thing I could say is that this can lift up for easy access. And so it does look alright for it. If they could use like a chair there, that would be okay from there. Also, I do like that there's this little box there for storage uses, like for like diving gear, for all that. Regardless, this boat, in my opinion, is just going to be classified as just, in my opinion, just alright. Not the best, but if it floats, it floats. The next build that we do get for this is actually something very colorful, a coral reef area. Now, when I first look at this, I actually very like it. I like it. It doesn't look that bad because it just looks very colorful and looks pretty charming. I do like the build that they do, and I also do love the new elements that we do get with this. For instance, we do get like the seaweed piece here, which has been used throughout, I think, the 90s. These new coral pieces here, which I think we got from back in 2020 with the LEGO 2020 Deep Sea lineup. Along with some fish here that are connected to those pieces. They use like these little bars here to connect the fish to. However, I will say, I will criticize that because I think they could have made those pieces transparent. Because, I don't know, with them having a different color, it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look right in my perspective or in my opinion. It does include this treasure chest here, which can be removed. And inside, there are some few elements. There are some few treasures there. There's also this little piece of treasure, this little piece of coin there with a crown on it. So, I do like the treasure chest there. It looks very good for there. So, it kind of looks kind of basic for what we get with most deep sea lineups. I guess it could flow. It could. Along with here, we do get this little, like, the steering wheel for, like, an old ship. For pretty much like an old pirate ship. We do get this here. I'm not really sure if this here is a new piece. It does look like a seaweed piece or a sea anemone piece. So, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a new piece. I don't know if it is, but it does look good for it. It does look good. We do get a crab piece there, which we have seen this several times, along with a fish here with a different color. I do love this new piece here. I don't think this is a new piece, but I do love this transparent piece on this starfish here. It doesn't look that bad. In my perspective, it could actually look good. It looks great. It actually does fit in with the whole coral reef thing. It actually does. Throughout most of this, I will say this does have, like, I'm just going to say this, it looks amazing. This is a really good build for what we do get. So I do see how this looks really nice for build. It could work for other things, but we'll say with the name Explorer Diving Boat on there, I could expect to see this. Because it looks great. It just looks beautiful and fascinating. Now let's move on to another part, which is pretty much the most positive here. We do get animals for this set. We do get some old and some new ones. Let's start with possibly the largest one, I think, is with this, that being the Hammerhead. So at first glance, this here is not new. We do get a Hammerhead Shark from the set, but this is a not new piece. This body piece here has been molded since 2014, I think. This here, the cephalofoil piece here, that one we got back in 2020 with the 2020 Deep Sea lineup. So this here is not new. We got this a while back. I will say it is nice to get a shark in this, to get a Hammerhead Shark, as pretty much Hammerhead Sharks have been left out throughout the LEGO genre, so I'm glad to see that LEGO has been making Hammerhead Sharks, because it looks great. The new color that we do get with this is very good. And I do like how we get it in like a sand gray color, in a light gray. This looks great. It actually does. The mouth does open and close, which is something basic for like mini sharks, so it's not new. So yeah, I'm gonna say this here looks not that bad in my opinion. It looks really great, and I do like how we get a new color for this. Up next for another animal is this, a stingray. Now once again with the Hammerhead, this is a not new piece. This is a not new molded piece that we do get. We got this once again from the 2020 Deep Sea lineup, so this here isn't new. But the color and the printing is new. In the 2020 Deep Sea lineup, we got stingrays that were blue spotted. But right here we got a stingray that is in sand blue and is in a very spotted color. We do have some light blue spots, and along with some black spots. I apologize again, guys. I apologize if I stutter. So once again, this build looks very unique. It does have a single. It's just one molded. It does have some studs on here, but in the end, I think it could look really good. This Stingray mold is just. It's not that bad. It is just not that bad. Now, along with the Hammerhead Shark and the Stingray, we also get not only one, but two sea turtles. One an adult and one a juvenile. Now, I will say, these are amazing. I love these. These are really great for what they are. Matter of fact, I think if they would have just probably took out one of the animals from here, because I'm pretty sure 4 animals in this set are kind of unnecessary in my opinion. If they took one of those out, I think these ones should have stayed, because these right here look great. Now, the juvenile, I will say we did not actually, this is not really a brand new mold. We actually did get a juvenile sea turtle back in a minifigure pack, I think. But the adult sea turtle is the one that is new here. Now, this one is really unique. It does look good. The shell print, the shell, shaping is great. The printing on the eyes are good. There's a stud on the top. And when you turn it around, on the bottom, it just gives you access to, any other brick. Because, it's Lego, so what do you expect? I just absolutely love these. These are just really good for what this is. If they... I was going to say if they just put the turtles there, that would have been better, but, yeah, I would love to have another Stingray and a Hammerhead Shark, but all I'm just saying is that 4 animals with this small set is kind of unnecessary. So, yeah, I mean, these right here are definitely the highlight of this set, because they actually very well... I mean... they do look very good, but it's along with the Stingray and Hammerhead Shark. Actually, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to say it. All of the animals that we get in these sets are definitely the highlights, because we get some new animals here. We do, so it is amazing. It really is. So, all in all, with the animals that we get in this set, they're great. They're great. They look very good and very fresh. This set does come with 3 minifigures in this. 2 of them being divers and 1 of them being the operator of the boat. Now these 2 divers here, we're going to start off with those and we'll go with the operator of the boat. These 2 divers, I will say, they look very good for this set. The diving torso prints, they look fantastic. I mean, it does look kind of similar a bit. I guess well, actually, I mean, it's a diving print, but it works. As you can see, it does have the printed tiles, or no, not printed. Printed torso. That's what I meant. Printed torso. Checking the bell on there, the printing, the watch that tells you how much fresher the air is. Just with all that. We do get 2 divers in here, and one of the divers includes a alternative face, that being the blue-haired one in the middle. Just like that right there. It does include an alternative face for this minifigure, but not with these 2. Now, even though they do have helmets in there, they also do come with alternative hair pieces. In my opinion, it does look good. It's a nice touch. It actually does have a nice touch, I think LEGO should have done that back then, because, I mean, it is a good idea, so I could really see that happening more. And yes, this is what it looks like with the helmets on. This is pretty much just what it looks like with the helmets on. Let's finish off with the minifig, or the minifig that's the operator of this. Now, when I look at this, it does look alright. I will say, this does have this hair piece here. I don't really know if we ever had this hair piece back then, or if it's new for this year, but I mean, it looks nice. It actually does look nice. The printing does look nice. You can see how it's a little middle-aged, like there's a few wrinkles there. I mean, it does look nice. No vertical printing on the legs, nor the arms. Yeah, this minifigure here looks great. It does come with a life vest that is pretty much removable. And here's what it looks like without the life vest on. So, all in all, the minifigures that we do get, it does look nice. It does look very, very nice. Now, I will say, overall, this set does look very, very good. The animals that we do get, the minifigures we get, the boat, the coral there, it's all good. However, here comes my biggest criticism with this. This set retails for about $40 here in the United States. Does this even look like a $40 set? Like, this set comes with 182 pieces. That sounds kind of small, at least in my perspective. There is absolutely no way LEGO thinks it's a good idea to market this set for $40. You know what I think this is probably the blame for? Inflation. Because if we wouldn't have inflation, we wouldn't have sets that are just so outrageous. Because nowadays, Legos are expensive as hell. Seriously. I'm sorry if I'm acting mad, but it's just that I kind of am because of this price here with the $40. Seriously, $40 is totally unnecessary. I do get that it does have new animals, so I can kind of understand that, but still, you don't have to market it as expensive. You don't have to raise the price up. Seriously, $40 is way too much. This could have been better if it was like $25 or $20 in general. That could have been better. That could have been better. But no, $40. Oh my god. I'm sorry if I am mad. I'm not saying that this set is terrible. I love it. But just the price there just kind of grinds my gears, if you know what I mean. So, the Explorer Diving Boat, set number 60377. A pretty good set, but a ridiculously expensive one. Now, with that ridiculously priced one out of the way, now we have one that actually does have a pretty reasonable price. This is the Arctic Explorer Truck and Mobile Lab, set number 60378. This set contains 489 pieces and it will retail for $74.99 here in the United States. Now, when I first look at this, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't look that bad, but there is some, I will say there are a few criticisms I can make with this, but those are going to be more detailed once we come to explaining the entire builds one by one. Let's first discuss the Arctic truck. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to say this right now. This right here does not look like an Explorer truck. Not at all. To me, it looks more like a bulldozer because it has this piece where it could shovel snow and also has these piece motors here. So this does look like a truck. Or no, sorry. A bulldozer, not a truck. But I'm not going to criticize it more because that's the only criticism I can make with this is that it's not really a truck. It just looks more like, well, a bulldozer. But however, overall, I will say, this doesn't actually look that bad. This one here, the snow shoveling part here where it shovels snow, it does look good on there. It is a nice touch. These motors here, the pieces with that, they do look nice. It does give it that Arctic vibe. It does have a wheel over there on the bottom, so that way it could move around. And yeah, it doesn't really look that bad in my opinion. It's just that the name looks, well, it doesn't feel accurate. This top here can be removable for access to minifigs. And when we look inside, you will see there's not really that much. It does have one control panel there. It's that one control panel over there on the left, and a coffee mug on the right because it's a city set. So you're obviously going to get coffee mugs somehow. And it does include a steering wheel. there are these two studs on there for minifigures to connect on, and it does include a window on the back. So it does have this window here, those two window pieces on the sides, and one window piece on the back. This also does come with this crane here that can move up down, left or right, and can twist right there. It does come with this hook here, and it can be moved any way you want. It can be moved any sort of way that you prefer. And it can also be usable for when you're picking up some like stone or Arctic like mysteries. But we're going to talk about that later. It also does come with this here. It does have this box which can be easily removed. And inside is a shovel and a few pickaxes. It also does have another spot where you can put another box there. And this part here, this piece can be connected with the ladder piece that comes with, that can be connected to the mobile lab. So yeah, overall, with this part here, it doesn't look bad. It does look very good. I mean, it's a pretty unique build. It looks pretty sturdy, very much. It's just that the only criticism I can make with this is just the name. It's not a truck. It doesn't look anything like a truck. If they called it like a bulldozer or anything like that, that would have been better. But I'm not sure. I guess if they called it like a Explorer truck, I think it might have sounded better. I mean, it does look nice. That's all I'm going to say for this. It does look great. It looks nice for me. Now the next build is the mobile lab. Now once again, I will say this also doesn't look very bad as well. However, this might have more criticisms than the truck. For starters, the ladder here, I honestly don't really like the ladder here, or the bridge, if it's going to be that way. I don't really like this piece, this part, because it looks, I don't know, it just looks sort of basic. I mean, it kind of looks a bit of like a lazy build to me, and also it doesn't really like, it just falls like there. And it also doesn't really rotate, because you see this part here, this could be connected with the truck, and it could turn diagonally. But with this one, it just goes up and down, not left or right. So it is so it just pretty much just drifts around. Now these are for sliding down with the snow. But here's my thing about this. When the truck, it's supposed to like move away snow. But with this one, it's supposed to slide with the snow. So that means it might get like covered up in like snow on the bottom. So I don't know, that doesn't really look anything like a good idea for it, but I do see why they could have just put that there. The antenna there it doesn't really look bad. It's just kind of a little bit of a detail from there, just for a radio or something like that. The solar panels, I honestly don't know if these are necessary. I honestly don't think solar panels would be needed for like an Arctic research, because I don't think the sun really shines in the Arctic that much, because I'm pretty sure it's covered up by clouds. So I don't really see if that could really help out, because solar panels are meant to I think they're supposed to be for to collect electricity. I honestly don't know what solar panels are actually meant for, by the way, honestly. But I don't think these are necessary, in my opinion. The snow pieces here on the top are a nice touch, along with the lights. This part here, this spinning, this propeller-like fan, it also is a bit of a nice touch. This can also go up and down, or like that, for some reason. I don't know, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I just prefer if it was up there. This part, this roof here, can also be removable and can give you access to the inside. This is what the inside looks like inside the mobile lab, and I will say, it's pretty detailed in my opinion. It looks really detailed. It does come with a walkie-talkie and binoculars. It does have this, power-up. I don't really know what that is, if I'm gonna be honest, but it's just something there. It also does come with two beds. 2 beds for minifigs to be on. Okay. It does have room for minifigs to walk on. It does have this control part here. It does have a computer that can open up. That's a sticker piece. That's a sticker there. I just love this sticker there because it looks extremely adorable with the polar bear there. Yeah, it also does have this control panel, and also does have like these transparent tile pieces. I think those are new. I've never seen these before on any other sets. It does have some 4 windows there, and another 4 windows on there. Also does have these 2, those are just to hold on to the roof, and it does have 2 studs to connect to the roof. It also does have this door here, that's a sticker there as well, and it can open for minifig access, just like that. I will say here, this part here, I do like, but it just has more criticisms to make. In my opinion, it just looks kind of a bit of a lazy stuff, especially with this. Like, especially with that. But it's just an alright. It's fine, but it does have some minor flaws than I expected. Now, the set also does come with other builds. This one right here, which is a snow platform for the animals to be on, and it does include 2 fish pieces. Once again, these are not new, these are just, but I think they're in a new color. I think that's a new color for them. You do get 2 in the set, and they can be connected with these clip pieces there. This also does have this like empty space over there. That does have space for minifigs to be on, or the animals that you get there. Now the second one here, this here this is a platform piece, but contains a meteor with this piece on there, which is used for the hook to grab on. Now this meteor piece, I will say, I don't think this is a new one. I think we got this like from another time. But it does connect with this transparent tile here. It also does come with these gray or black studs. These simple studs here. Those are supposed to be like little small parts for the meteor. And inside, you actually do get something unique inside. Once you open inside of the meteor, which can come apart 2 parts, it actually does come with something very nice. It comes with a crystal piece. I honestly like that idea. I honestly like the idea of like crystal like elements being discovered here in the Arctic. It does put like a bit of a story in there instead of just having like all like structure with animals, like all that. I do like how they added like something for like a story thing or something like that. Once again, this could also be connected back on with just a simple sliding part. I will say these are really nice pieces. They're really nice parts, or builds that are for the set. Also, did I forget to mention that they can also be connected together? You see this part right here? This can be connected to this part here, which gives you just one simple platform, which gives you from 2 platforms to 1 platform, which is a nice idea. I really like that. Overall, these 2 builds, they do add a bit of a nice touch to the set, especially with the meteorite. That just looks good for me. Now in the set, you do get animals in here. There's only one animal that you do get. The polar bear and 2 little baby ones. Honestly, I'm gonna say this is the best thing I could have ever asked for. This is like the best thing I could have ever wanted. Could you like believe that? Not only you do get 1 cub, but you also get 2. Isn't that just adorable for you? Seriously, these polar bear cubs here, these are a new animal mold for 2023 this year. And they look great. They look adorable. They do have 1 piece there. It's just 1 simple piece, 1 stud. The printing on the eyes, amazing. You do get 2 for the set. Isn't that just adorable? You also do get the adult polar bear here, which is now really a new piece here. We actually got this from several other sets. We did get this and also in many other colors. But I do like this polar bear piece. It does have studs on here. The head can go down like this. The head can go down and also up. And the legs can also move up, so that way the polar bear can stand up. Well, not really like that, but you get it. Also, the polar bear can also, the legs can be moved up, so that way it looks like it's standing up. I honestly could say these are the only animals we get, unless you count like the fish as an animal, but honestly those are just pieces. Overall, I will say this is honestly the best kind of animal that we could have ever had. The cubs. Now, with the adult one, we already know that it could have been included in there, but with not one but two, that just feels like a bonus. That just feels like a sweet bonus. It really does. It feels so much like how you would have been able to. And it's also adorable very much. Also adorable very much. It really warms my heart to see new animal moles, especially if they're like babies. You do get 4 minifigures in this set, 2 being males and 2 being females. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel like out of the 4 of them, 3 of them have new face prints. This one here in this coat with this neck coat, this neck coat piece here is a piece for the minifigure. Along with this scientist here, I think that's a new face print for this year. And along with my favorite minifigure here, this one right here. Because if I'm going to be completely honest, he doesn't look like me, but he looks like Windows from The Thing. In case you don't know that, it's a movie made in 1982, but I digress. All that aside. But anyways, I will say, it's a pretty good selection of minifigures. It does have one hat piece, which is for this minifigure here, and there is one alternative face for the minifigure, which is the lady scientist over here. Now we also, by the way, I will say, we do also get the exact same minifigures from like the other sets. So, like from the Arctic Explorer Snowmobile, we did get this minifigure, but however, this minifigure has a different face print, which has goggles instead of just a simple alternative face with a wink. Here's what they look like with, well, this is what they look like with, this is what 2 minifigs look like. The lady scientist here with the alternative face, you see that? Along with the Windows minifigure here with that Arctic hat on. And I'm going to be honest, this is probably a great selection of minifigures because they're good. They look great for it. Oh, and also, by the way, this minifigure and this minifigure over here, they also come with these skiing like things that go on the feet. These skiing shoes. They're not really shoes, they're just like when you I apologize if I don't really describe them good. I apologize if I don't describe them good, but like they do come with these skiing footwear. You do get 2 from them, 4 of them. One for this minifigure and one for that minifigure over there. So yeah, it does have a pretty. Those are good because they are great for the Arctic lineup. But it would have been better if they just like gave them only one for a pair for each. But that would have opened up the price. But overall, all I would say, these minifigures look great, and we will see them later on with the other sets. With a set that does come with 489 pieces and does retail for a pretty expensive price for just $74.99 here in the United States. Honestly, in my opinion, this looks like a pretty good deal. I mean, with what we have here, it looks nice. It looks very good. There are some pros and cons with this. The pros being that it does come with 2 baby animals for this set. That is great. I do like it. The minifigs, good. They look great. Like an element, story element about the meteor thing, great. And it just looks good for it. The cons, however, with it being named the truck instead of a bulldozer, in that the solar panels don't look necessary, and also with the ladder there, doesn't look great and just looks lazy. But however, regardless, it is great. It does look good for what it is. I mean, would you want what you wanted? If you want it, this is what you're gonna get. But it is gonna be an expensive one. But in my opinion, it doesn't look like a good deal because, come on, with something like this, it does retail for something expensive. Besides, it's all due to inflation. Nevertheless, the Arctic Explorer Truck and Mobile app looks good, and it is a great set for many Arctic fans out there. But regardless, a pretty good deal. Now, the next two sets that we're going to be looking at are both deep sea related, or, well, at least one of them is. This is set number 60379, the Deep Sea Explorer Submarine. This set contains 842 pieces and it will retail for $109 here in the United States, or $109.99. Now, I will say, once I looked at this, I was honestly impressed. With all this that you get here, with all of this that you get here, it looks great. It actually does look like a very good deal. It really does, considering that you have many stuff here that, well, looks very unique for it, and they are really big ones, so it does match the price here. Let's just start with these one by one. Let's start with the main build here, the Submarine. Now, first thing I'm going to say is that this here, it's pretty huge. This is probably the biggest kind of submarine that we ever got from, like, the Lego City theme. It is a large sort of build, so it does actually kind of understand about why it's expensive here. And I will say, it is bulky. It really is very bulky. It does have a lot of features that are, well, they do look great, and there are some very unique features here that we never really got from any other submarine before. Starting from here, let's start with the claws. Now, I think these might be new pieces. These here, I think they might be new pieces here. They do have rubber bands on each to, like, keep them, like, shut, and when you, like, press onto, like, one of them, all of them open. They do have some parts. They do have a part here that makes it move, like, left to right, and it does have a ball joint here which can move it over there. Same goes with this one. The light pieces here, there are two light pieces up here which can be rotated up here, along with some down here. This head bubble piece here is, I think this might be a new larger piece because it does look very huge. Well, I mean, in my perspective, this does open down so that we can get access here for minifigs. But we'll get to the interior here in a bit. This here is a sort of built up piece. It does have a print piece here, not a sticker there. It does have these slope pieces up here. This orange part is what I'm talking about, along with this part down here with the set number and with this part here. And it does have these pieces here which can be connected with a few Technic pieces, along with some brick ones up around down there. This translucent piece here can actually open up so that way you can access some stuff here, including, like, the underwater submersible that you do get, but we'll get to that later. Inside, though, it is hollow. It does have, like, this two slope pieces, or look like three, and it does have these black and yellow plate tiles there, so it does look very hollow in there, but it is for great storage. Over here on the end of it, we do get this part here. Along with that, this can be connected with a few of those stud pieces. You also do get these grip ears for minifigs to hold on, and along with this, you get a propeller here, along with a propeller over here. You also get this large propeller here. I mean, it is nice that we do get two smaller ones and one large one. We also do get these container here. These can open up so that way you can put some storage there. It might fit some equipment, but I don't know about, like, hair pieces. If you don't want them, like, just scattered around, you might want to put them somewhere. But it is nice that we do get some storage in here, along with this one over here, which can also open up. Once we flip this over, we do get a feature here that is, well, unique for the submarine. Over here on the submarine, we do get this hook piece. This has a new black and blue towel piece here, new for this. You do get this hook here, and it can be moved up and down. Along with this, it can be rotated left and right. This is used for holding up some like submersibles, and this can be used for holding up many submersibles. It is nice that we do get something that is used to hold up some things. So it really does look unique. It does have a nice touch here. It does have a nice competitive touch. Nothing really around here, just those simple black pieces, those black pieces over there on the sides that I mentioned earlier, along with these plates here that go on the bottom. Now, once we do get into the interior, there actually is a lot to cover. And inside, there actually is a lot of features here. Inside, you do get this one piece here that is just a controller for the submarine for one minifig to sit on here. Doesn't really look good to me because it's just one controller piece. It does have these two light pieces on the sides. So I honestly don't really like this part here because it just kind of looks a little, it just doesn't really fit into what this is. Now, when we look into the other interior here, we actually do get a lot. We do get some holding for some equipment, some syringe, and with scissors. We also do get like this tablet here, along with another one over there on the bottom. We do get some jugs, some like bottles over there. We also do get two seats, one being blue and one being white. Over here we also do get this part here for like to hold some stuff, along with this diagram here, which is a sticker piece. We do get some holdings of a wrench and a crowbar here, along with just that seat that I talked about. This part here does hold a total of 3 minifigs here, and inside there is for the submersible, which we're going to talk about yet again later. Overall, I will say, this submarine looks great. It looks so bulky, and it actually does look good. And one thing I will say is that this is surprisingly large. Once again, this might be the biggest submarine that we might have ever got from any deep sea set from LEGO City so far. There are a lot of stuff to cover up with this, along with the stuff in the interior here, along with many of the build parts here, the claw here that are rotatable. So there is just a lot to cover up with this. It just looks fantastic. Really does put like a great feeling of this whole deep sea thing. And I just gotta say, it's just fantastic for me. There aren't actually, in my opinion, there aren't actually any flaws with this that I could have seen. Only one thing is that with this part here, that is just a flaw. But other than that, there aren't actually any to cover up from. So, I gotta say, this might be one of the best submarines that we ever got from the company. Now we come up to what is my favorite part in this entire set. We do get a second larger build here, and that is this sunken ship terrain here. I'm gonna be honest, this is impressive. Really impressive. The amount of work that they put into this really is inspiring. The amount that they put here, I just can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Just the look on this looks very impressive, very spectacular, and well made. We're going to start off from the top here. On the top, there are these 2 shark pieces here. These 2 pieces here have been used several times, but these 2 shark pieces come in a new color, which is a light gray or a sand gray. They do have the same printed eyes on here, and they look so good for them. They look good, especially in a new color. These 2 sharks can be connected with these 2 transparent pieces here. And why they do this? So that way it can create an illusion that the sharks are swimming around. That is a good idea for how it really is, because as somebody who loves sharks, this was a must-have for me because of just how how well designed that it could have done because of the way the sharks are moving. It just looks good. It really does. However, just because you think there are two sharks here, it doesn't mean that there is not only just, well, another one. Because there is another one. And it is right here. Right here is a larger shark. And I'm going to say, I love this. I do have a bit of a criticism with this, though. The printing on the eyes. Now, I will say, LEGO has done this with the 2020 Deep Sea lineup where they made the exact same mold, but they didn't give the shark eyebrows. I did like that. But now this, I don't know. I literally don't know. I mean, it does look good for some people, but for me, it just looks a little cartoony. It doesn't actually apply with it with the smaller ones, but if they just removed the eyebrows there, it would have looked a bit better. All in all, I will say this is a good piece because I used to have a lot of fun with this kind of piece. Because not only is it larger than the smaller ones, but it's also capable to eat an entire minifig. That was just so good. So all in all, it's a great part for this because this goes directly inside here. So that way you can push it back. So while you get two sharks that are just swimming up here, you do get one shark that just pops up, just like that. Does have some seaweed parts here to push up, and it just is a good effect, just a really great effect. But we aren't done with this part yet. There still are others to talk about. As you probably might have noticed, there actually is another animal that we actually had to go through. These right here are the new jellyfish builds. And I will say, these are not new molded pieces for them, but they are good for a good build. You do get two of them here, one in a pink color and one in a blue color. It is nice to see LEGO making new animals if they are not really molded, because this is an example of LEGO animals that are built, because, I mean, they do look good. They actually do look really good for them. You do have this transparent piece up there on the top, which can be connected to that other pink transparent piece, along with this one. They do look good. They do look good for this entire lineup. They also do come with these transparent stick pieces, but you can remove those. But these jellyfish pieces, these new builds, they are good. They look great for what they are, but you do have to be honest, they do look kind of weird, but they're fine. They're fine to look at. Now, along with the jellyfish and the sharks, you do get these fish pieces here. In total, you do get 4 of them in the set, and they can be easily off as they are. Once again, you do get 4 of these in this set, and the interesting about these fish is that they are actually capable of glowing in the dark once you turn off the lights. They can actually glow in the dark. How impressive is that? These fish pieces are great for what they are. I mean, it is nice that we do get fish pieces here, but just because they glow in the dark makes it better. Yeah, so once again, you do get 4 of them in the set, and just because they glow in the dark, that's impressive. Now, are we done yet? No, because we have one more part to look at. Behind here, there are some stuff to cover, mainly because of the cave here that we do get. Inside the cave, we do get few treasure elements. Do get these gold bars along with a crystal, and we do get a dead body. Well, just a skeleton, but you get the idea. This skeleton piece, I will say, is kind of unnecessary because, I mean, why? But I do understand the reason. But, I mean, I would have, LEGO wouldn't have done this, but, I mean, I guess they could have, because why not? This skeleton piece does come in a few pieces, so you have to put it together, not just like many minifigures. It does have a sword and a yellow crystal, along with a pirate hat on the top. Now it does look like it's torn apart here with it missing a leg, but the leg is actually founded right over there. Now this right here could be a good place for like mini treasure storage, along with many other things. But mainly because because of the shark here, you push it back over there just like that on the tail. And then you could just push it out to scare it. So just like that, you can just push it back and push it out, just like that. Now over here, we actually do get this one treasure chest here on the top, which can be removed, and inside of it is some 2 gold bars here. Nothing spectacular, just a simple treasure chest, which is 2 gold bars. Nevertheless, I'm going to be seriously honest. This is probably the best thing I could have ever seen from it, because how well made this is, and with the amount of detail that they put, the sharks, the jellyfish, the fish, like these here, the seaweed pieces, like all that, the trench here, I am absolutely satisfied. There actually are no criticisms to make with this. Neither at all. I didn't find a single flaw with this. Nothing at all. Literally, no regrets. This part here is obviously my favorite build of this because of just how spectacularly built this is. Because, like, I'm kind of a little bit too much on this, but I just really am pleased to hear, or just to see, that this is actually optionable. Like, pretty much a great build for it, because it actually does have a really amazing sort of like technique here, along with the technique here down. So, props. Really good props. Now let's move on to the few side builds here, and then we'll get to the minifigs. This right here is the underwater mech, and this might be my least favorite build here. You see, I have no problem with mechs, but it's just that the way that this looks a little bit too bulky and a little overexposing. Here are my reasons. One, when you put a minifig inside, which is minifig accessible, you do get these open parts here that are really easy to find. It does have this print here on the front, and these can open up to get access for minifigs inside. But I'm gonna be honest, it looks a little bit, yeah, this also breaks apart. But, I mean, regardless, I understand that underwater mechs can be needed. 1 second. There we go, sorry about that. But anyways, like I was saying, I understand that underwater mechs do look cool, but I don't know, I just have no like for this, especially with like these here. The wrench parts here, like, are used for hands. I honestly don't know. This part here, the lights, I honestly really don't know. The leggings, I honestly have no idea. Also because this also falls a little bit too easily, like that. I honestly have no idea. I don't know. It's just, this is probably my least favorite build because I just have no sympathy. I just don't know. I apologize if I'm being a little bit too harsh on this, but this is just my honest opinion. If you do like this build, that's okay. That's okay. But just in my opinion, I'm not sure. This is probably my least favorite build. Now right here we do get the last build that we do get for this. This here, the underwater submersible. I honestly like it. I mean, it does have a bit of bulkiness in it with these parts on the side. I will say those are not really the part I like because, I mean, I don't really like bulky things, but with the submarine, that is good because, I mean, if it is bulky, then that's alright because it was heavy anyway. It does come with some lights that can be reversed down here, just like that, along with the arms that can also be reversed up. There's this transparent part here, along with a handlebar here, along with two blue handles for minifigs to hold on. It does come with one propeller that spins, and it does have this part here for the hook to grab onto. Also does have these blue handlebars there for minifigs to hold on. They also do get this printed tile up here, this printed part here, this printed slope here, that is like the exact same logo. You are going to get the exact same logo for each set, so don't be surprised. Along with this part here, also the arms can also be reversed up, so that way it can hold into the submarine. Because that transparent part for the submarine, you know that? This is what can fit in it. This is what can fit in it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really mind underwater submersibles, like underwater remote subs. They are necessary for certain things. But I don't know. I honestly don't know about this. Honestly, I have no opinion for it. I mean, it does look good, but the bulkiness is just something I don't really like. It's fine, I guess. It's fine. There's no hard issues with this. It's fine to me. It's just fine. No hard feelings. It's just fine. Now we'll move on to the minifigures. In this set, you do get 6 individual minifigures, but we're going to start with these 3 and we'll get to the other 3. Right here, we do get some familiar faces here. Only one familiar face, and that is this one, the submarine operator. Because as you recalled, we actually did get the exact same minifigure for the Explorer diving boat. And yep, I'm gonna say this, you are gonna get duplicate minifigures here, so that way you can the story element can be on there, just like that. But we also do get some new minifigures that we do get here. Starting from here, the medical minifigure here does have a good printing on there, and the hairpiece, that is not new. It's from, I believe it was from a Ninjago set, if I'm recalling, but it does have a new face print here with just a bit of chin hair on there, along with some printed elements here on the back with just nothing, just a simple print. Now over here we do get another minifigure that is new here, this lady here, with some reason hair that is slicking on the left. I honestly don't know why, but I mean, I get Lego sometimes makes minifigures look silly, but I don't know, this kind of just looks a little bit off to me. I believe this might be a new print. No alternate faces for any of these minifigures, by the way. No alternate faces for any of these, but it does have a nice printing on here with this. Is that supposed to be like a radio? Is that supposed to be like a walkie-talkie? Not sure. But it does have some, not really any printing on the back, but a lot of printing on the front. I'm gonna be honest, these are some good minifigures for the operation of the submarine, the mechanic, the mech, that's what I'm saying. And along with the small underwater submersible here. So good minifigs for the submarine set. Good minifigs. Now we also do get some divers here with this set. 3 to be exact. We have this diver here from the Explorer diving boat. This one here in a diving form from the Arctic Explorer truck and mobile app. And we also do get this blue-haired lady here from the Explorer diving boat again. Once again, the torso printings look good. The air tanks are in a new color, along with the flippers. I do like the alternate hair pieces that you do get with these, and they also do come with some unique equipment. This here holding a camera, this one here with the metal detector along with a flashlight, and this one here holding just another flashlight. Now, there only is one minifigure here that does come with an alternative face, and that is the blue-haired lady here on the right. And here's once again what it looks like with the alternative face here. And these are what the minifigures look like with their underwater diving helmets on. Now, I do have one thing I will say. This minifigure over here has a different helmet on, besides with these other ones. I honestly don't know why they gave him another, a completely different helmet piece there, and these two get another different helmet piece on. I honestly don't know why. We do get this helmet piece from the 2020 Deep Sea lineup, but in a red color. But here we do get it in a teal color. I don't know why they just gave him another, like a different helmet. I honestly don't know why. It just doesn't really make any sense to me, but whatever. I mean, if it's for another team of divers here with the Arctic, that, I guess that could be understandable, but that's just still is like scratching my head right there. But I will say these are some really great detailed minifigures with their diving equipment. They look good. They really do. And we will soon be able to see them again on the last other set. I am really impressed with what I have received here. Pretty much this might be my favorite out of all of the lineups here. I'm really impressed, or actually shocked at the same time, that LEGO would go ahead and make something like this. Not only in like the most detailed form, but also with some of the most unique builds, the most unique side builds, especially with this one here. That right there is my favorite so much. However, there are some criticisms along with that control panel there, along with the underwater mech. I just really don't know. Also with this other diver's helmet, that just doesn't make any sense to me. But all that aside, this is really good, and I'm honestly pretty impressed and pleased to see how this would entertain a lot of people. This would make a great Christmas gift, and it would make a very good birthday gift as well, or pretty much just any other gift in general. Although this would cost $110 as this is here in the United States, so I highly recommend saving up your money if you're going to get something like this. But overall, I love this a lot, and there is absolutely no doubt about it. And last but not least, we have the big one, the Omega, the largest one here in the theme, the Arctic Explorer ship. Set number 60368 contains 815 pieces, and it will retail for $159.99 here in the United States. Now, when I first saw this, I was blown away because of the amount of stuff you get with this, how huge the ship is, the minifigs, the models, and the new animal. We're going to get all of those in just a minute, but we're going to start with the main build. Let's get started with the main build, the ship. I'm going to be honest, this is literally the largest ship we'd have ever gotten from the LEGO City lineup, because this ship is huge. It has two hulls connected to each other, one being a new hull and one being a very old hull. That hull over there being used in 2015. And just in case I'm not kidding, they use two particular hulls, one with a hollow part and one with a not hollow part, exposed. Also can be exposed here with these ones here. This ship is very large, and it has a lot of storage in there. We're going to get to all of those storages in just a minute. But just with the interior, how it can be stored with the helicopter, the boat, the dinghy, the submersible, the equipment, everything about this is unique. So let's get started dissecting this one by one. Starting from here, we do get the engine here, or not really engine, but like the place where it's where it can be driven. It does include a removing up here. The roof can be removed. Sorry for my tongue twist, but like this, it's just a simple build up here, but it can easily be removed to get access. And once we look into it, there's actually 3 seats for 3 minifigs instead of just 2 or just 1 for there, which is impressive. Each seat contains a simple control, but it also does have with some doors that can be easily opened up, so that way you can get access for minifigs, or at least minifig accessible right there. It does include a steering wheel on the front, including with 2 control panels here, and a compass. Now this part here can easily be removed to gain access to down here. Along with this guy can also be removed. And inside is very detailed We get seats, tables, a bunch of control panels, a microscope, a tank with a crab, 2 beds, a porta potty, and there also is doors for minifigs to get in, just like that. I'm going to be honest, this is like the most detailed sort of ship that has ever been from Lego, especially with how it is, because of how detailed the interior really is. It does include windows, just a bunch of beds, well, just 2 beds. They do contain coffee mugs, and there are 2 parts here that have to be removed with this and that, and along with this. Over here is pretty hollow. It does include some antennas, I think. It does include these ball pieces. Few slow pieces here, transparent. 1 green, 1 red. But down here is very hollow for access with minifigures. Includes 2 doors for the lower top and doors for the top. And does include a ladder for minifigs to get onto, which is a nice touch. Now over here is where we get the crane here. This crane is very, well, I'm going to be honest, it does look kind of slim and kind of a little bit fragile. It does go up like this and along like this. So you're going to have to be careful with it because it's kind of slim. It does have this hook here which can be tied onto. Kind of difficult to tie on. And it does, then this piece also can come up just like that. So that way, you know, it can be easier to lift many things just like that. Over here, we do get a part here that can open up, so that way you can get access to pretty much this hollow part here, so that way you can, like, drop down many things that are holded on to the crane, such as the submersible or the dinghy. Do like this part here that does open up, so it is a good, nice touch for what it is. It does have these panel pieces, these tiles with a teal and black color there, along with the crane here. Over here, we do actually get some things here. We do get a lot of hollow space for minifigs to like walk around onto. But what we do get is that we do get access to put on the underwater submersible, the dinghy, and also some equipment. What I like about this is that I highly like how most things can be stored neatly and easy with this. From my perspective, this is probably the best kind of ship we would have ever gotten. I think I might have liked this more than the 2020 deep sea ship, because I mean, this is not really a deep sea ship, this is an Arctic ship, but still, I do love this. This looks great. I do love how detailed it is, especially with what we get here on the interior, the crane, and how everything can be stored here. This right here is just very detailed and very large. And also, the boat can float because it has 2 hull pieces that can float. So this would make a very good bath toy or something to put in your pool in the winter. Overall, this right here is definitely the best build I could have ever asked for. Now we'll start with the side builds. The first side build will be the helicopter. And I'm going to be honest, this does look good, but there are some flaws that I will say. First, the propellers, or the blades here. They do spin, but it's just that they use these tiles, and they don't really hold up any support at all. I would have preferred it if they just like put it like a simple like thing to like hold them in place, like another piece to hold them, but instead we just get like something that's a little basic. We also do get this glass canopy here that can be lifted up for minifig access. Not a whole lot, just a simple control panel and a seat. I don't really like how it just barely covers up these sides. I do like the floatable pieces here, but they are connected to like some sort of piece, so they don't really float. This part, the other propeller here, I don't mind. I don't mind. These teal flag pieces, I don't mind as well. Just, there's something about this that I don't really mind about. I honestly don't really mind a helicopter, to be honest. But it's just that there's something about this that I just don't really like. It's just that this part here is what bothers me the most, considering that it might easily fall off. I will say this is an okay build for me, but I will say the helicopter is just fine. Another side build we get with this is the underwater terrain here, or the Viking ship. Now, I will say this does look cool. This does look good. This build can be tilted up and down. It does include these seaweed, these anemone pieces, I think. I think that's what they are. It also does come with a crab with a Viking helmet on. This can also be removable, just so that way you can get a better look at the crab itself. This Viking helmet, I don't think this is new for the year. I think this has been used a few times. It's nice that we do get like a helmet for like a minifig to wear. And speaking of Viking, we actually do get this box chest used. I believe this box chest was used for the Lego Minecraft sets, but inside we do get some stuff. What we do get is that we do get a Viking axe and a Viking shield. It is connected and can be pulled off with those two pieces. And it does come with just the seaweed part over here. I don't know about this part, this bottom, this simple like platform piece. It's in a teal color. I don't know. It just doesn't look anything ocean-like. It just looks something more like, I don't know. It just doesn't look accurate. I believe that this Lego could have done better with this, but it's just that this is probably just a little bit of an okay build as well, just like the helicopter. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm not saying that this is bad, but it's just, it could have been better. It could have been better, but hey, if it is what it is, then I'm fine with it. Now we're going to go into the dinghy. I do like this new, like, I don't think this is a new boat hull mold, but it is bigger than the other boat hull that we did get with the 2020 deep sea ship, along with the 2015 exploration vessel. This is accountable and can hold 2 minifigures. It does come with a steering wheel and some lights, and also some like bars here to hold like equipment. It does have a like built up motor here, and it can be held up with the hook, and also can be accessed to the other part of the ship, which I'll show later. But it's fine. I don't mind it. I do like it, but it's just something about it that does kind of bother me a bit, because considering that it does hold 2 minifigures, it don't really like, all they have are just 2 studs there. I could have sworn that they would have put just like simple studs on there. I don't know. But nevertheless, it's okay. It's an okay build. Now next we get to another build. That is this, the underwater submersible. Now we do get 3 underwater submersibles here in the total in the set's lineup. We do get 3 underwater submersibles. I think this one might be my favorite, because I do like the double lights. Do like the claws here that you do get, which can be reversed like that. Do like the hook. Do like the grapple hook. It does have the printing on there, the logo, and does include a movable propeller. Not much to say, but it's just simple. It's just a simple little build, and it is just for something used, and it can also be held up to the crane, and also can be accessed to the interior. Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind it, but if it is what it is, then I guess this might be my favorite underwater submersible here in the lineup, because it just looks pretty basic. Now, this is definitely the highlight of the set. What you are looking at here is a new molded animal, the orca, otherwise known as the killer whale. And I'm going to say this right now, this is probably the best molded animal that we could have ever gotten from 2023, because it's adorable. It is a big animal mold, and it does have some tubes, so that way it can stick onto any bricks. It does have 2 studs on there, and I love the print because it looks pretty accurate to actual orcas. It does have a grip to hold on. Do love the tail, and along with the pectoral here. The mouth does open and close like this, so it is just 2 parts put together. And I really love this because it looks great. I definitely will say this is probably the reason why many people are going to get this, because of this mold, because it just looks so great. And I do love how LEGO is making new molded animals for the year. I really love it. We do get a total of 7 minifigures in this set. So we're going to go over them one by one here. First, we do get the captain of the ship, the mechanic, the radio technician, I think, the photographer, the medic, the scientist, and the diver. We do get these exact same minifigures from other sets, just to keep in mind. All of them except for the blue-haired lady diver, and along with the middle-aged lady that drives the submarine and the explorer diving boat. For these, they look great. Fantastic as always. Do love the new hair pieces that you do get, like this one for instance. And they're just great. They really are. Now, 2 minifigures here come with alternative faces here. And that includes this one and this one right there. And here is what the minifigures look like with the alternative faces, and also with the helmet pieces that we do get. So, with this lady here, she is also the helicopter pilot, so it's the one who controls the helicopter. This one here wears a snow hat, and this one also wears a diving helmet as well. Once again with a different mold, instead of just the other molded helmet that we do also get with these. I love these minifigures. They look great. Do love the printing on the faces along with the torsos and leggings. Great accessories. And just for all, I just really love the idea on how we get most minifigures here that have detailed printings along with many alternative faces. I mean, I'm fine with alternative face minifigures, but I believe LEGO puts them if they are necessary, I think. Nevertheless, a great set of minifigures. A really great set of them. I am impressed with what I'm looking at right now. All of this is just perfect on so many levels. The amount of detail we do get around here in the interior, the way everything can be stored neatly, the animal that we do get, the minifigs, the crane, the underwater build here, just all of this is perfect on so many levels. This right here is an amazing Christmas gift I would highly recommend. Because with all this, all these sets, they could make great Christmas gifts or birthday gifts. Because let's keep in mind, these came out on August 1st. All of these sets came out on August 1st of this year. This right here might be the best one, because if this gets retired, just like with the express passenger train, everybody will be mad that they didn't get this because of how incredible it looks. I am impressed about what this is, and I believe you will be as well. So if you want to get this, I highly recommend saving up for it, as this is $160, so I highly suggest you pay, or not really pay, but like save up just for a while. In conclusion, all of the sets from 2023, all of them from the smallest to the biggest, are, in my opinion, fantastic. Very fantastic. I cannot believe that LEGO would even go as far as to making something so beautiful and so magnificent. Sorry for talking to us. But like I was saying, all of them are great. All of them. Every single one. I highly recommend you get every single one, or just even one or two. It doesn't matter. But I would highly recommend getting all of them. However, they are pretty expensive, so if you are not really that wealthy or anything like that, then I highly recommend that you go ahead and save up, because
Either that, or you could probably just wait till Christmas or wait until your birthday, whenever that happens. But I do highly recommend all of them. Every single one. Because they are not only great, but when you collect them all, you're going to get like a beautiful syringe of animals, a beautiful syringe of like boats, equipment, accessories like submarines, trucks, mobile apps, all of that. You're going to get an absolute collection of these if you collect all of them. So, there you have it. That's the review of all the LEGO City Arctic / Deep Sea sets from 2023. That's all for today, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.